Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. Her name is Natalie Rydstrom, and it's time for us to preview the 89th Oscars 2017. Natalie Rydstrom, of course, every year the Oscars is basically, for people who aren't like sports doofuses, it's the biggest event of the year, right?
Sure
The Oscars
is.
rivals the Super Bowl, or I think way more people watch the Oscars. Who watches more, the Oscars or Super Bowl?
Oscars,
I don't know.
Oscars
You
for
think
sure,
so?
because Oscars
Yeah.
is like a wider audience, isn't it?
So it's a huge deal. And of course, for people who might not realize this, Vegas and offshore sports books and the entire world betting market does offer odds on all the major categories in the Oscars every year, right, Natalie Rydstrom?
Well, yeah, and like more so on the major because we've just finished doing the Grammys, which, by the way,
Yes.
we did very well.
Very nice. Natalie Rydstrom had the balls to take, a bunch of underdogs, which did cash.
Adele, yes, I was very proud of that. But so we've got more categories. Grammys obviously was limited,
Yes.
but you can pretty much bet everything. And do you know what else I noticed as well is they've got like a lot more like prop bets. So for example, like right now, like La La Land is pretty much dominating every category. Golden Globes they dominated, and which is a sort of a big indication. But you can also do like prop bets. So for example, like will La La Land win every bet? Even sort of stuff like who will be hosting.
Yeah, and you
know,
can
all of those kind of things like this, like some like fun things. That
Yeah,
you can bet on.
and you can. I know you can even bet like how many total awards will La La Land win and stuff like that. So there's many ways that you can bet. The Oscars, we're just going to basically go over handicapping all the major categories right now. And the issue is though with the Oscars every year, and this is the case every year, although it seems a little bit more stark this year. Most of the categories, of the major categories, have massive favorites, and we're talking about like 1 to 10, 1 to 30, where you have to bet like $300 to win 10, and that's because the winners of the Golden Globes are very predictive, and in general, people sort of know who everyone's gonna go for, right?
Yeah,
who the writers are going to go
and
for.
just actually going to stop you quickly, Pete. If you guys do want to check the current up-to-date odds, do head over to sportsbookreview.com/bet Oscars props. We've got the complete list there, complete list of all the categories and all the odds by various bookies, so you can shop around.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. No, that's good. That's important. All right. So there's one major category, Best Actor, which is competitive. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
The other 5 have massive favorites. Let's quickly go over them. And you tell me, Natalie Rydstrom, if you've seen anything that indicates that there might be value with one of the long shots. Best Picture, La La Land is a massive favorite. That is a beautiful universal story of bullshit and vanity and greed and all that crap.
Song and dance.
What the hell it's
I'm
about.
not a musical fan, I have to say, but it has
I don't watch any of
gone
this crap.
down. It has gone down a treat. Some people I've spoken to, funnily enough, have got mixed reviews. But listen, it's not about our opinion.
Yeah.
It is about
exactly what's likely to happen. I mean, I haven't watched.
Exactly, and I tell you what, I wouldn't go anywhere past La La Land at all.
So then, Best Director, the director of La La Land, massive favorite. Best Actress, Emma Stone, massive favorite. Best Supporting Actress, Viola Davis, the most massive favorite of them all. She's like 1 to 50, something ridiculous. And the Best Supporting Actor
I really
is.
want Viola Davis to win, though.
Well, I think you're going to be. I think you're going to get what you want because her odds are just ridiculous. I mean, you'd have to bet it's like $500 to win 10 with Viola Davis, and maybe that's worth it. I don't know, but. And then we've got Mahershala Ali, who's a massive favorite for Best Supporting Actor. Natalie, I don't know what research you did, but do you have any reason to believe that any of those favorites won't win? Not really.
No.
There's a reason they're huge favorites.
It's so covered. That's the problem. And I did hear you mention there saying we've got a bit for the Best Supporting Actor, and it's Manchester by the Sea. And that's Ben Affleck.
I'm sorry.
As it Manchester by the Sea, Ben Affleck,
for the Best Actor.
Best Actor, yeah.
Yes. We're going to get to that in a second. That's a category that's competitive. That's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
Look alive. All right. So any of the 5, any of those major categories with the massive favorites. Is there any reason to bet against any of them? I don't think so. You might want to take a shot if you want to.
Not me.
All right.
I'm not me at all.
Right. So now let's move to Best Actor, which is the one category that does have a competitive odds. And as you said, that's between Casey Affleck and Denzel, who's still fine after all these years. They're both at the current odds. Casey Affleck is a small favorite, but it's close. This reminds me a little bit of a couple years ago when I saw what was her name, Lupita, right? Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah.
I did my research on that one. She was also in a category that was a little bit competitive. And as I was doing my research, I thought, you know what, she's going to take this one. And this year, I think I might give this one officially. I think Denzel is going to take it because Casey Affleck has some, you know what I'm talking about, right? Some issues that are, some off-screen issues that are not too flattering of him. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Well, I do. The funny thing is,
Yeah.
why is Ryan Gosling obviously as the best actor? So if Emma Stone has cleaned up, and she's so low favorites there, or high favorites, Ryan Gosling 26.
Right. Well,
that's sort of a bit of a snub, isn't it? If I was Ryan Gosling, I'd feel a bit like.
Well, his technique was a little lacking, to be perfectly honest. I mean, Ryan Gosling.
Do you think when you saw him dance, you were like, nah,
I don't know.
Emma Stone's got this one. Yeah, do you know what? I think if there is going to be any upset, I agree with you, actually, Denzel Washington.
It's not really an
got
upset,
that,
though.
Lupita. Yeah.
Yes, I did nail that one. It'll be a very small upset because Casey Affleck is still the favorite, and he did win the Golden Globes, although Denzel Washington took the SAG Award, right? Over Casey. So which one of those is more predictive? Generally, the Golden Globes are seen as more predictive of the Oscars. But I'm telling you, I think with I think that the odds here are telling you. I mean, Casey Affleck was the big favorite, the big choice, but now but as his odds have gotten as the lines have closed, right?
Because his lines are shortening there, 1.57.
Yes.
That has dropped. So what's that saying? That's saying all the money's obviously going on there, but sometimes that's not. Yes,
the best thing. Definitely not. But I think it's worth a shot with Denzel right now as at about plus 120. About 6-5 or so. I would take a shot with Denzel as a play with value to win Best Actor over Casey Affleck. What do you think about that? No?
I think why not?
Why not?
I think go for it. Double your money. Why not? I think he stands a very good chance. He's a fantastic actor. I think he did a very good job in Fences. And listen, we're here to make a bit of money, and sometimes you've got to take a bit of a risk. It worries me that Casey Affleck is such a huge favorite, and the odds are dropping. That's my only sort of worry.
Well, I mean, Casey Denzel, you can get between 5-4 and 7-4, but and Casey Affleck is about 1-2 roughly. So he is a pretty significant favorite, but I think it's worth a shot to go with Denzel here because he's a legitimate name. Also, of course, we know the whole Oscars so white thing, which is there's that as a factor that I think might play in here. So the press aspect of it favors Denzel considerably, and I think that it's worth a bet. So that's my pick on that one. And as far as the other 5 categories are concerned, I will not give any sort of recommended play against any of the massive favorites. I think they're probably going to sweep, right, Natalie? Mm-hmm. All right, now we got all the other categories, which do have some interesting things. We got Best Documentary Feature, which is also kind of a little bit of a race between OJ, Made in America, and 13th, which is not a huge underdog. Then you got Best Foreign Language Film. That's an interesting one because there's the one of the co-favorites, which is The Salesman, is an Iranian film, and the Iranian director of that film is boycotting the Oscars because of all the.
That's right, because of the Trump. Right. I know, I read about that.
That's right. So I think that might also be worth a shot. Let me pull up the odds for that one. Hold on one second. But while I'm pulling up the odds, are there any other categories that you think might be worth a look in terms of betting value? Any of the lesser categories? I
do. Best Animated Feature Film.
Okay.
Yeah, that's always a really good fun one. Really? And quite interested to see, though, because Zootopia is a huge favorite, 1.13. But Kubo and the Two Strings, I think, really could be a sort of a secret underdog here.
Yeah,
priced
it's the
at
second
5.
choice.
So you've got minus 600 for Zootopia, Bovada, and then Kubo and the Two Strings plus 300.
Now,
have you seen either of them?
I haven't seen any movie on my own volition since 1998, but I watch documentaries, baby. But are you saying this because you watched Kubo and the Two Strings and you just thought it was a cute, adorable, wonderful movie, and you're thinking, why wouldn't they give it to this wonderful?
The technique that went behind it. I think it was that sort of stop motion. So they build a little thing, and then they do another one, and take pictures of the whole thing, rather than it all just being animated. It was incredibly it was an incredible technique, but also a beautiful story. It was a
universal story of love, loss, watching a lot of porn, being pissed off.
Well, the third part, but love and loss, and it was beautiful. It was captivating, and
dreams shattered, dreams realized. It's like that. It's that kind of a movie. Why is Zootopia such a massive favorite then? 1-6.
I know.
What do you think?
It's obviously the popular one. Well, my only thought is Kubo and the Two Strings was quite some time ago.
Well, listen.
It was in the beginning of the year, and maybe Zootopia is more fresh in people's minds.
Well, listen, Natalie, you had success with your underdogs in the Grammys, so you're saying that this is going to be an official underdog pick for you. Kubo and the Two Strings, whatever the hell that is. Yeah, plus
Kubo is the person.
Oh, okay.
And the Two Strings were, I think it was a weapon or something. It was called the Kubo and the Two Strings.
And it's a beautiful movie?
Beautiful. Okay. I recommend it.
Okay, all right, I'll watch it.
Just beautifully done, executed, the whole 9 nine yards.
All right, no, that sounds great. So let's move on to what I was going to bring up before, which is the best foreign language film. I think that the Salesman. Now, Tony Erdmann is a German movie, and there's also a third choice called A Man Called Ute, which is a Swedish film. That's about 8-1. I'm going to throw that one out. But it's between Tony Erdmann, which is a German movie, and The Salesman. The Salesman has this Iranian angle going on. Erdmann is still the small favorite, but I'm going to give a pick on The Salesman at about 6-5, about plus 120. I think between that one and Denzel Washington, both of them might win, but at least one of them will win, I think, and you'll make a little bit of money if just one of them wins and if both of them win. Obviously, you have a nice little win there with the Oscars, right? Two small underdogs.
Can't argue that with that at all.
All right, you didn't look into that one at all, or
no,
The
I
Salesman?
didn't.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm not a massive foreign language. I don't like reading my films, to be honest with you.
You love movies, don't you?
I love movies.
Right?
I love going to the cinema with my popcorn. I love it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Not a massive fan of 3D, though, I have to say.
Right.
Costa Rican 3D is not very good. It just looks blurry.
I love watching.
Love the
I
old
understand.
cinema.
You love movies. I love watching end of the world documentaries about global warming and like TEDx speeches about how
I hate
humanity
stuff like that
will be
because then you get like
extinct.
depressed
Yes,
and you
yes,
think like
yes. But to
that
me that's
explains a lot of things.
To me, that's
Peter
entertaining.
Loshak.
To me, that's entertaining. But I understand, Natalie, why you like movies, and I think we might have some picks. All right, so you're just giving the one pick?
No, I
sorry,
like.
what else do you have?
No, I like Kubo and the Two Strings, but I also liked your Denzel Washington one as well.
Oh, okay, so you're going to go on that one with me?
Yeah, I think
really?
I am. Why not?
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to join the wagon here.
Yeah, I think that one's a good pick.
And then there's another one as well. What was the other one?
Which one?
They've got like best original sort of like it's like screenplay.
Sure, they have best original.
And then you've also got costume as well.
Do you have picks on any of those? Those categories also tend to have massive favorites. So you kind of have to do your deep research to find out if there's a long shot.
Sometimes I find you that
like
hair and makeup and things. But I think, to be honest with you, on all those ones, La La Land it just covers so many categories. It covers sort of like costume and set design. It covers hair and makeup. It covers the musical notes. It covers everything.
So but there's no picks in those in any other category.
Well, I would say La La Land, but there's no money to be made, is there?
Yeah, exactly. Like let's see. I know costume design. I think La La Land is a massive favorite. Yeah, there you go. Oh, not that massive. Ooh. It's about 4-6, which is still a pretty big favorite.
Taken.
Well, the other one is Jackie, which is about Jackie Onassis, right? But no,
La La Land.
I don't think so. Yeah,
done.
Yeah,
La La Land. Hey, 4-6. I'll take that one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so is that another bet you want to throw on?
Yes.
That's not that big of a favorite. That's that you might get some. You don't have to lay out too much to. All right, so 4-6 on La La. So you have 3 picks. What? Okay, so I have just 2 picks: Denzel Washington and The Salesman. And you have what? You got Denzel and.
I've got Denzel. I've got
Kubo and the Two Strings,
and I've got
La La Land.
La La Land
for best costume design at about 4-6. All right, Natalie Rydstrom. I think we've done our duty here. We've given some picks that we think have some value. Again, it's just tough to bet the Oscars because either you're betting a ton of money to win a little on a favorite that's probably going to win, but it's still a big risk on something that's not a sure thing, or you're doing your deep research and taking a shot with a big long shot that you think might upset, which does sometimes happen. Right?
Sure does.
All right.
Sure does. All right.
All right. Sounds good. Natalie Rydstrom and I, of course, come from sportsbookreview.com. Thanks so much, Natalie.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.